from Virginia, Mr. Andrew McKnight. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Good afternoon. Whoever turned the outside temperature up above 32, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Because that made it possible for y'all to be here. And without you, there would be nothing happening. So thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. It seems after driving 1,300 miles or whatever it was in the last 3 days, a traveling song might be a great way to start. My 7-year-old got a hold of my capo before I left for this tour, and I'm not sure the capo and I are back yet on completely diplomatic terms. We're working on it. There you go, buddy. Got plenty of it? It's called Western Skies. Climbing on this big jet plane, headed into western skies. And if I had a rearview mirror, it's how I'd pass the time. Looking back on leaving I've done, should be old hat by now. Do I want too much lingering touch? Did I hold her too long? 1,800 miles from the Chesapeake to this great divide. 1,800 miles separate me from the truth inside. For I am lonesome, lonesome under western skies. Drive this road that long ago echoed with hooves Arapaho. And as I pass these ranches, I almost feel their ghosts riding along. Never cared for conquistadors plundering mountains for gold. Please don't fear, I haven't come here to prospect for love or reward. 1,800 miles from the Chesapeake to this great divide. 1,800 miles separate me from the truth inside. For I am lonesome, lonesome under western skies. West beckons like an old friend, leading me to parts unknown. And I draw gallons of cold comfort, knowing this road leads me home. Is it my heart missed her from the start, or just thin air getting to my head? 1,800 miles from the Chesapeake to this great divide. 1,800 miles separate me from the truth inside. For I am lonesome, lonesome, lonesome under western skies. Whoa. Thank you so much. Thank you. The unmarked blacktop winds back in time. Remembered ways I've known and left behind. The signs have changed, but the way is clear. It's been so long since I've been here. Memories point past that sycamore tree. Make a left where the miller's red barn used to be. The gravel gently gives beneath my wheels, and I remember how it feels. A rusted tractor rests among the cedar trees. A pause between the past and what's to be. 10,000 houses don't leave any space. This was home when this was a different place. These windows watch 3 generations grow old. A silent statue stands to times long ago, and they say you can't go home again. I know what they mean, for I still see those fields of green. A rusted tractor rests among the cedar trees. A pause between the past and what's to be. 10,000 houses don't leave any space. This was home when this was a different place. Open red clay wounds weep every time it rains. Castles grow instead of acres of grain, and I wonder if those kids will know where food comes from, and if someday they'll ask where we have gone. A rusted tractor rests among the cedar trees. A pause between the past and what's to be. 10,000 houses don't leave any space. This was home when this was a different place. This was a different place. Thank you. Well, what a treat to be here this afternoon. What a treat to get to hear somebody of here, from here, sharing their songs from here. Scott, great set. Really enjoyed that a whole bunch. I have to say that I have the entirely opposite mindset driving 40 and 30, because when I'm headed to Texas, I'm headed away from home. But I brought a little home with me today, if that's all right with you. Because I figure it's only caring to be sharing, right? And how high is this mountain that I've fallen down? How far have I tumbled to be here? And how long must I climb to see sweet sun again? Out of this valley of despair. This mountain that I've fallen down, how far have I tumbled to be here? How long must I climb to see sweet sun again? Out of this valley of despair. And how heavy is the cross that I am bound to bear? How long an uphill march lies ahead? And how will I keep my heart turning to stone, lift my face to the light instead? How high is this mountain that I've fallen down? How far have I tumbled to be here? How long must I climb to see sweet sun again? Out of this valley of despair. How far must I roam to find the promised land? How many miles more to Calvary? How many lonesome nights till I find that star? Set my course straight and true again. And how high is this mountain that I've fallen down? How far have I tumbled to be here? How long must I climb to see sweet sun again? Out of this valley of despair. Out of this valley of despair. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks for that one, Drew.
You're so welcome, sir. You're so welcome. This is not even getting on my radar as anything other than making me feel right at home. Because when I left home, that's what I left. Does that look about your size? How old are you? 6? She's got you beat by a little bit, but not much. And yeah, we do a little dancing at Daddy's shows, so thank you for making me feel welcome today. It means the world to me. I appreciate it. I had the coolest experience with my kid back in November. My dad, you know, when you hear the singer-songwriters, you think, okay, I'm going to hear songs written by, about, for, you know, me and people right close to me. And it's not really my normal bag, but I would hate for you to be disappointed by not getting into some little bit of autobiography. So my dad still likes to play his piano. He has himself a gig, a regular gig down at the restaurant. Dad's going to be 79 this year, my goodness. And so my dad and I are of a bit of a different stripe, because my dad, he likes to run the show, but he likes to have all of his sidemen and ladies in the box. He's got like 150 musicians in there, and he doesn't pay any of them a lick. Strings, horns, bass, and they're all working on the cheap, man. Forget union scale, they ain't even getting a meal out of the deal. And he's down there having a grand old time, right? So the last time I was up there, I guess it was November. They live in eastern Connecticut, and so my family came along with me because it was a long weekend, and we were able to pull that together. And so my dad had a gig, and then so we went and hung out at his show, and then the next night he came and sat in with me at mine, and my kid got up and sang harmony with me on one of my songs. So we had 3 generations of us on stage together, and it was totally kind of, didn't even think about it till afterwards. And all of a sudden I see all these iPhones sticking up in the air while we're up there, and I thought, oh yeah, I guess there's that, huh? So my dad doesn't just, there aren't a whole lot of people his age who are out gigging. So, every now and then he's like, I'd like to play with real people. And so he'll go and sit in with other bands and stuff. And we got a lot of friends in between my age and his age. And a couple of years ago, he sat in with these guys who played classic rock. And they were, like get down classic rock, like Skinner and all that. And my dad plays a pretty mean Hammond B3 organ too. So let me not denigrate my dad's chops when it comes to playing like the Allman Brothers or something. He's got that too. It's just he'd much prefer to be playing all those classy jazzy songs that that he likes. The next day, I'm dying to know how it went. So I call him up and so tell me about the gig. How was it? Huh? Oh, it was good. Loud, but good. And then my dad utters the sentence that I cannot get out of my head. 20 years of traveling around this big, beautiful country of ours, sharing these songs and stories for people, I would have lost every nickel I made that I would never hear him utter the following phrase that was the next part of the conversation. That Freebird's a pretty good song. For real, Pop. I kind of remember, Dad, when that song came out, that you didn't think that way of it. So I guess, we're all capable of evolving and being flexible and whatever else like that. This is something I wrote one day when I woke up and realized I was becoming my own old man. It's a jazzy song. I still don't know the names of all the chords and stuff in it, but this is more in his wheelhouse. It's called Bad News. Telephone rings, Pulse picks up the beat. Got no explanation for my rising body heat. Guess I'm just expecting bad news. My least favorite words are "we gotta talk." It usually followed by a long and lonesome walk, 'cause I'm expecting bad news. When a mailman comes, let the dog run loose. I won't shoot a messenger, but delivery refused. Call me irrational, but I won't lie to you, 'cause I'm expecting bad news. All right, Fido, do your thing now. If you got issues, I don't wanna know. Here's some advice for you. Just pack them up and go. You can keep those letters coming, and call me if you choose. Keep your secrets if you're bearing bad news. And I just can't take no more news. I'm as free as a bird now. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I've been lucky enough that I have not yet removed myself from the gene pool due to my own poor choices, occasional lapses in judgment, whatever you'd like to call them. And I've been lucky enough to have lived long enough to found that several of the curses that were placed upon me as a teenager have indeed come to pass. That bit about waking up one morning and finding you've become one or both of your parents. You're gonna say the same thing to your kid someday. Oh man, did you have to drop that one on me? And then of course there's the one about how life has this way of putting you at the place that you need to be, just at the time you need to be there, and somehow or other neglects to hit send on the email that lets you in on the whole thing before it happens. And thus you find yourself there kicking and screaming, claws in the wood, heels in the sand, and it's only after you've gone through all this stress and angst and anxiety that you realize, oh, I needed that. That was just what I was supposed to do. You could have saved me some aggravation. As it's been in my life, I've found that the times that I have most needed to not be able to hide from myself is after losing somebody real close. And the first couple of times as an adult it happened, my journeys led me almost immediately to the great red rock deserts of this beautiful American Southwest. Now, I've always tried to find a way to verbalize what it is about that. It's just a mysterious and austerious place that, you know, maybe it's as simple as the starkness of the landscape, the red stone against the blue sky. Maybe it's the fact that there really aren't a whole lot of places to hide from oneself there. Whatever it is, when I come back from Canyon Country, I always come back renewed in the sense that, and the belief, I guess, that at heart, each and every one of us is an endangered species well worth saving. It's called wishing. condor soars on outstretched wing. From that altitude, I bet you'd see a lot of funny things, like red rock glow 'neath desert skies. I hope way up there's a place where our souls collide. Gravity, it holds me down, keeps my orbit safe and low enough to ease the blow when I hit the ground, while angels glance and prophets laugh at this flightless rustic poet stumbling blindly down the path. In the blinking eye where dreams take flight, it's deafening in the quiet under these restless stars so bright. And if I wish on their falling light, I wish I didn't need to make a wish tonight. Whooping crane, his joyful dance, and he's so unaware of all the perils of his new romance. With one wing high, one leg kicks, has 10,000 fathers before guide his way through this. In the blinking eye where dreams take flight, it's deafening in the quiet under these restless stars so bright. And if I wish on their falling light, I'd wish I didn't need to make a wish tonight. Oh, I wish I didn't need to make a wish tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Randy, let's try something crazy. I feel comfortable now. Let's bust this dobro out and see what happens. Shoo-wee. This is my livelihood. I do it a lot. I go a lot of places, and sometimes it's easy to just sort of, like, kind of, you sing the songs, you've sung them 1,000 times, you just kind of roll along. And I find that in order to stop thinking about something goofy like a ham sandwich in the middle of a song, it's a good idea to do something that's like bicycling on a tightrope, like play an instrument that I have no business playing, for instance, and see if I can avoid embarrassing myself. So, here we go with the embarrassing myself part of the show. 50-50, it either will happen or it won't. That's why I flunked statistics in college. I couldn't see any other outcome. Either it will or it won't. Tell that to a statistics professor. Pretty much guaranteed to get red ink. So when I started playing around with this instrument, I decided that a song from my second CD, Where This River Runs, might be a pretty cool fit. As a kid, I was cursed with an overactive imagination. And because I've been aging and maturing at dramatically different rates all my life, the problem hasn't really solved itself, as 'twere. So that fact and the fact that I used to be an environmental engineer sort of collide head on in this next song. I just realized I've got this wallet in my pocket because I'm sitting side saddle here. If you've ever gotten a postcard from somebody who spent a little time in Louisiana, say between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, you know those really cool night skyscape. You know, it's dark and then you see the pink sodium glow of all those chemical manufacturing plants and refineries. That one. Now, if you get to thinking about the proximity of all of that mess to some of the spookiest blackwater cypress swamps you'd care not to get lost in after dark, and you have an overactive imagination, that would all seem to add up to a perfect recipe for chemical voodoo. Sweats with fever, wet with clouds blood red, a dark patch of bayou swamp where angels fear to tread, pipes long forgotten from beneath refineries and chemical voodoo, hang like heat from hell. The swamp keeps dark secrets, 'cause no one's returned to tell. Chemical voodoo. The legends come in whispers. His name will not speak. One night his Piro vanished in a tangle of cypress trees. That he met his maker, that much is certainty. And chemical voodoo hang like heat from hell. The swamp keeps dark secrets, there's no one's return to tell. Chemical voodoo. Penetrate the trees, it dank with evil, and the wind blows like disease. Under eyes of industrial skies, so far from Saint Evangeline, and chemical voodoo hang like heat from hell. The swamp keeps dark secrets, no one's return to tell. Oh, not chemical voodoo. Thank you. My latest solo CD, Something Worth Standing For, I got 3 friends together and we went in the studio with scraps of songs and pounded them into shape over a couple of weeks in the studio. One of them was Chance McCoy. Chance at the time was a 2-time West Virginia state fiddle champion. In the last couple years, Chance has had a different gig. Chance has been playing the guitar with the Old Crow Medicine Show, and dang, those boys won a Grammy the other night. And I was like, man, dude. I sent him an email. I'm like, hey, man, now you're famous. I'm going to have to get like a t-shirt or something for you to sign. Anyway, this is a song that Chance and I wrote with one of my current bandmates, Les Thompson. Les was one of the original nitty-gritty dirt band. We were asked to write a song about the folks who live in the Coal River Valley of southern West Virginia, kind of ground zero from mountaintop removal coal mining. And the folks who live there live with a lot to try to meet our insatiable demand for cheap energy. They live in the shadow of what used to be mountains, what look like these huge industrial wastelands of, like Moonscape or something. And every now and then there's one mountain sticking up like something out of Dr. Seuss that you think to yourself, they were the ones who didn't sell out. And it's kind of crazy. So this is a song that we wrote for those folks, and it's called Made by Hand. Granddad was a union man, worked deep beneath the ground. Say a prayer in the morning and again to see the sun go down. Day from night by lantern light to earn enough to eat. By Saturday moon on the mountainside, the fiddle moved their feet. Went into mines at 14, took a wife at 21. Raised 5 kids in the holler like his daddy done. The company cut costs and corners everywhere it could. Still every Sunday they gave thanks that they had it good. For I know the times are changing, they say progress is good. Do we honor honest work like my granddaddy would? The eagle soaring high, would he recognize this land built upon the sturdy backs of those who made by hand? My daddy left these mountains for the mills of Ohio. A roll of steel that won a war far away from home. But back in Granddad's holler, big timber stripped the land. Laid the railroad tracks that can't bring back the lives they made by hand. For I know the times are changing, they say progress is good. And do we honor honest work like my granddaddy would? The eagle soaring high, would he recognize this land built upon the sturdy backs of those who made by hand? Hey, hey, hey. long for West Virginia, her hard blue rolling hills. Memories of childhood, I hear those echoes still. But my family stories vanished, but no trace I could find. For they even tore the mountain down where Granddad used to mine. I know the times are changing, they say progress is good. Do we honor honest work like my granddaddy would? The eagle soaring high, would he recognize his land? Built upon the sturdy backs of those who made by hand. Built upon the sturdy backs of those who made by hand. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to close off the first set by telling you a couple of things. One, I saved the good songs for the second half so you wouldn't leave. Two is there's an awful lot of good stuff to eat and drink out there, so you shouldn't leave anyway. Third, maybe most important of all, safe houses like this on the Folk Music Underground Railroad don't happen by accident, as you've heard here many times. I will ask a favor of you. If you are enjoying the music that you are hearing here this afternoon, please tell somebody. I could afford to be less of a well-kept secret, really. I don't care who you tell, but just get in the habit of telling somebody, because it all helps. I don't know if you missed the lack of the tour bus out there or the VIP tent with the corporate sponsors and all that other stuff that we ain't got. It's pretty much word of mouth in this line of work, and somehow or other I keep going from one safe house to the next, and people keep showing up, and I'm pretty sure it's because somebody's telling somebody that they should go. So if you're willing, thank you. I really appreciate it. And I would, if you're not enjoying yourself, I will happily find $1 or $2 to give you to just keep that to yourself. My daughter is the fourth generation of woman in my wife's family to grow up in a different culture from her mother. My kid is as American as apple pie, pretty much, and she acts like it. My wife, however, was born and raised in the Republic of Panama. My wife's family came to Panama. My mother-in-law and her family left Cuba when Castro came to power. And her parents before that had emigrated from Spain. Now that part is germane to this next story because if your parents came from Spain, that means that you have a Spanish passport. Now, my wife's oldest aunt, Tia Eloisa, must be 86 or 87 now, and a couple years ago she decided she wanted to come visit the States, and lo and behold, with a Spanish passport, you can do that. And I'm here to tell you that that passport's got to be pretty good because she's still here. Fidel ain't gone looking for her yet, I guess. So you can kind of come to conclusions about what things must be like by examining, things that people do, choices they make, and all of that stuff. And I sort of had a big epiphany about what it must be like because last winter, Tia Eloisa decided that she was going to spend the winter with her granddaughters in Omaha instead of on a warm tropical island. Now, if you think about that for a minute, if you're choosing Omaha over a tropical island, said tropical island must suck. Because I can't think of any way that I would come to that same conclusion unless it did. And so, sometimes we get to arguing about, red or blue, Texas or A&M, country or western, whatever. And we go home to our houses and we don't think anything of it. And yet, for people in other parts of the world that look at us, they think, wow, what would it be like to have that kind of freedom? And so when I get to thinking about, what the choices that people make to come here from south of the border and all of the struggles that they endure to get here, I start thinking, what would it be like to live someplace in such destitute poverty and danger that you think that the best thing you can do for your family is leave with whatever you can carry on your back and you have between your ears and in your wallet, and to make this journey, and never mind even about the right or the wrong of it. I just wondered what it would be like to make the journey. You know, all the dangers of the landscape and people waiting to do ill things to you along the way, take advantage of you every step of the way. I get to thinking, man, I'm a lucky man to have lived my whole life in these United States, because that must take an awful lot of cojones. And I'm thinking, you know, I wonder what it would be like to be that person, because I wonder if our roles were reversed. I wonder, could I find enough courage to wear these shoes? And it would be an oversight to not point out that this is a folk concert and a participatory democracy, which means you can sing along, you don't have to get the words to the chorus right. I'd like your company, though. In the darkness, in the desert, searchlights glare and there's gunshots and shouting, but somehow I slipped by, only God knows why. The trucker dropped me at the Arkansas line. Where I come from is where the drugs run, and the men come with money and lust for honest living. Hope God's forgiving, for I left my family for this one chance at hope. And I have dreams just like you. Oh, if I let you walk in these shoes, would you be here? Scars and scratches, chemical rashes. No one trusts me to do more than clean, but I've got secrets, I've learned English. Someday the name on the door will be mine, and I have dreams just like you. Oh, if I let you walk in these shoes, would you be here? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all the politicians, state their positions, collecting campaign cash to build a wall behind them. But I do work you won't, dirty jobs you don't, and all I ask is a right to be human. And I have dreams just like you. Oh, if I let you walk in these shoes, would you be here? I have dreams just like you. Oh, if I let you walk in these shoes, would you be here? See y'all after the intermission. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.